Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Vancha kalpatarubhescha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti vaishnav vrinda ki jai. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। तस्यारविन्दनयनस्य पदारविन्दकिञ्जल्कमिश्रतुलसी मकरन्दवायुः अन्तर्गतस्वविवरेण चकार तेषां संक्षोभमक्षरजुषामपि चित्ततन्वो नेह यत्कर्मधर्माय न विरागाय कल्पते न तीर्थपदसेवायै जीवनपि मृतो हि सः। प्रसङ्गमजरं पाशम् आत्मना कवयो विदु स एव साधुषु कृतो मोक्षद्वारमपावृतम्। तितिक्षवा कारुणिका सुहृदः सर्वदेहिनाम् अजातशत्रवः शान्ता साधवः साधुभूषणाः। सतां प्रसङ्गान् मम वीर्यसंविदो भवन्ति हृत्कर्णरसायना कथा तज्जोषणादाशपवर्गवर्त्मनि श्रद्धारतिर्भक्तिरनुक्रमिष्यति। हासं हरेरवनताखिललोकतीव्र शोकाश्रुसागरविशोषणमत्युदारम् सम्मोहनाय रचितं निजमाययास्य भ्रूमण्डलं मुनिकृते मकरध्वजस्य। मद्गुणश्रुतिमात्रेण मयि सर्वगुहाशये मनोगतिरविच्छिन्ना यथा गङ्गाम्बसोऽम्बुदौ। लक्षणं भक्तियोगस्य निर्गुणस्य उदाहृतम् अहेतुक्यव्यवहिता या भक्ति पुरुषोत्तमे। सालोक्यसारष्टिसामीप्य सारूप्यैकत्वमप्युत दीयमानं न गृह्णन्ति वीणामत्सेवनं जनाः। यन्नामधेय श्रवणानुकीर्तनाद्यत्प्रवणनाद्यत्स्मरणादपि क्वचित् स्वादोऽपि सद्य सवनाय कल्पते कुतः पुनस्ते भगवन्नुदर्शनात्। अहो पतश्व पचतो गरीयान् यज्जिह्वाग्रे वर्तते नाम तुभ्यम्। ते पुस्तपस्ते जुहुः सस्नुरार्या ब्रह्मानुचुर्नाम गृह्णन्ति ये ते। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, let us continue our study of the King of all Holy Scriptures, Grantharaj, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 28. Again, this is Canto 3, Chapter 28, entitled Lord Kapil Dev's Instructions on the Execution of Devotional Service. Text 1. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Yogasya Lakshanam Bhakshe सबीजस्य नृपात्मजे मनो येनैव विधिना प्रसन्नं याति सत्पथम्. Translations and purports by our beloved founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, Srila Abhay Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The personality of Godhead, Lord Kapiladev, said, My dear mother Devahuti, O daughter of the king. Who is the king being referred to here? Devoti is the daughter of which king? Yes, Parima Mataji.
Manu Maharaj.
Which Manu?
Mm,
Shama Vallavi Mataji?
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Swayambhuva Manu.
Yes, Swayambhuva Manu, the first Manu. O Mother Devahuti, daughter of Sri Swayambhuva Manu, now I shall explain to you, Vakshe, I'm going to explain to you the system of yoga, the object of which is to concentrate the mind. Mano yenaiva vidhina. We have to concentrate the mind. And what is the effect? By practicing this system of yoga, one can become joyful. Prasannam yati. One can become joyful and progressively advance towards the path of the absolute truth. Yati satpatham. We progress on the path of the absolute truth, Krishna. We'll approach Krishna by practicing this path of yoga. Purport. Srila Prabhupada says, the yoga process explained by Lord Kapila in this chapter is authorized and standard. And therefore, these instructions should be followed very carefully. Srila Prabhupada tells us that we should follow these instructions of Bhagavan Kapil very carefully because they are instructions on how to advance on the path of bhakti, Krishna consciousness. In the second paragraph, second sentence, Srila Prabhupada explains, Lord Kapila the personality of Godhead, who is the highest authority on yoga, here explains the yoga system known as Ashtanga Yoga, which comprises 8 different practices. Anga means limbs and Ashta means 8. Ashtanga Yoga means yoga which is practiced through 8 different practices. And what are they? Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi. These are the 8 limbs. Starting with Yam Niyam. Yam Niyam means to control the senses and to follow the rules. Then one can take Niyam, certain Niyam one can follow, that I will practice celibacy. I will sit in a holy place. And then how you will sit? You have to take different asanas. So asan. Then there is pranayam, there is breath control. And in this way, it goes all the way up to samadhi. Samadhi means complete absorption in Krishna. Text 2. Swadharmacharanam shaktya vidharmacha nivartanam Daivallabdhena santosha atmavicharanarchanam. One should execute his prescribed duties to the best of his ability and avoid performing duties not allotted to him. Vidharma means activities that we are not supposed to do. Activities that are against dharma. Dharma means the prescribed occupational duties for all of us. That is called dharma. Vidharma means activities that are against our dharma. So, swa dharma acharanam shaktya. Shaktya means as much power we have, as much ability we have, we should follow our own dharma. Dharma could be grahastha dharma for most of us. Dharma could be Vaishya dharma, Shudra dharma, Kshatriya dharma, Brahman dharma. Whatever is our dharma, that we should follow to the best of our ability. And vidharmacha nivartanam. Nivartanam means to avoid. We should avoid vidharma. Vidharma means irreligious activities. And then one should be satisfied with as much gain as one achieves by the grace of the Lord. Daiva labdhena santosh. Very important instruction. Daiva labdhena santosha. Whatever we get by Krishna's arrangement, we should be satisfied. And one should worship the lotus feet of the spiritual master. Atmavit charanam acharanam archanam charanarcharam. Archanam means to worship. Atmavit means self-realized soul. And Charan means the lotus feet or the feet. So Atmavit, Charana, Archanam. We should do Archanam, worship of the Charan, the feet of Atmavit, a self-realized Mahabhagavat. Whose feet we should serve? The feet of a pure devotee. That is very, very important. In our life, we should choose a pure devotee who we want to worship. Guru Puja. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, in this verse there are many important words which could be very elaborately explained, but we shall briefly discuss important aspects. So let's read. The final statement is Atmavit Charana Archanam. Atmavit means a self-realized soul or bona fide spiritual master. Unless one is self-realized and knows what is his relationship with the super soul, he cannot be a bona fide spiritual master. I would like all of you to kindly highlight and note down this sentence of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada says, unless one becomes self-realized, means one realizes one's relationship with Krishna, personal relationship with Krishna, who is Paramatma, one should not become a spiritual master. Unless Krishna reveals our Swarup, our Sambandha with Krishna, that is revealed to us, we become self-realized. Until that time, we should not become Guru. We should not become a spiritual master. Unless one is self-realized and knows what is his relationship, he cannot be bona fide spiritual master. Relationship with the super soul, Krishna. Yo vetti bhautikam deham krishnasya paramatmana. Sa sarvavit bhaishkarya shruti smriti vidhanatah mukham tasya vilokyapi sachalam sranam acharya. Krishnasya paramatmana. Krishna is Paramatma. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Haraye Paramatmane Pranata Klesha Nashaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto. Krishna is clearly glorified as Paramatma. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Haraye Paramatmane. Hari is Paramatma. Krishna is Paramatma. So, unless one knows that relationship with Krishna or Paramatma, one should not become a Guru. Here it is recommended that one should seek out a bona fide spiritual master and surrender to him. Archanam. And by inquiring from and worshipping him, one can learn spiritual activities. We get spiritual knowledge from Guru. Srila Prabhupada points out in the next paragraph, the first recommendation is Swa Dharma Acharanam. Swa Dharmarchanam Shaktya. First line. What is the meaning of Swa Dharmarchanam? As long as we have this material body, there are various dharmas, various prescribed duties for us. Such duties are divided by a system of 4 social orders and 4 spiritual orders. 4 social orders are Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. These are occupational duties, social duties. Are you going to work as a Brahman? Are you going to work as Kshatriya? You Shudra, you Vaishya. So there are social divisions. Then there are Swadharma in the form of spiritual divisions also, like Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. These particular duties are mentioned in the Shastra and particularly in Bhagavad Gita. Chaturvarna Maya Shrishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha. Krishna says, Swadharmarchanam means that one must discharge the prescribed duties of his particular division of society faithfully and Shaktya, to the best of one's ability. One should not accept another person's duty. This is also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, that we should not take on the duties of other people. Even though we can perform them perfectly, better to perform our own dharma, even though imperfectly. Everybody remembers this, Bhagavad Gita? This Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi also I didn't go into details because Srila Prabhupada explained that very detailed in Bhagavad Gita as it is. So one should not accept another's duty. This also Lord Krishna says. In fact, it is said in Bhagavad Gita, 2 points are repeated as it is twice. One is Manmana Bhavamad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. As it is repeated, 9th chapter and then 18th chapter. The second thing that is repeated twice in Bhagavad Gita is this, that we should follow Swadharma and not follow dharma of other people. This point Krishna repeats twice in Bhagavad Gita. So it's very important that we should do our own dharma. We should not get into the dharma of others. One should not accept another's duty. If one is born in a particular society or community, he should perform the prescribed duties for that particular division. If, however, one is fortunate enough to transcend the designation of birth in a particular society or community by being elevated to the standard of spiritual identity, then his swadharma or duty is solely that of serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What Srila Prabhupada is saying, that the Naimittik Dharma and Nitya Dharma. Once the Nitya Dharma, Jaiva Dharma awaken, Jivara Swarupa Krishna and Nitya Das, and we are initiated in the process of serving Krishna, then the most important dharma we should follow is to serve Krishna, to obey Krishna, to work for Krishna, to please Krishna. Atha Pumbir Dvija Shrestha Varnashrama Vibhagasha Swanushtitasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Haritoshanam Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Krishna says that once you come to Krishna consciousness, your first, most important dharma is to serve Krishna. All other dharmas are secondary and they are not compulsory anymore. The most important dharma is to serve Krishna. If other dharmas are facilitating and supporting Jaiva Dharma, which is service to Krishna, then we can accept. But when the other dharmas become obstacles to performing our Jaiva Dharma, which is Krishna Bhakti, then we should give up those other dharmas. Sarva Dharman Parityaj. And there are many examples in our life like that. If someone says that there is eclipse, so don't worship the Lord today from this time to this time. Don't touch your japamala, don't chant, or don't throw away Krishna's prasad. Because so all those things we don't accept because they are unfavorable to bhakti. If one is born in a particular, so when the Swadharma, Jaiva Dharma awakens, then Prabhupada says sole duty is to serve Supreme Personality of Godhead. The actual duty of one who is advanced in Krishna consciousness is to serve the Lord. As long as one remains in the bodily concept of life, he may act according to the duties of social convention. As long as one is in the bodily concept of life, one may act according to duties of social convention. The Samanya Varnashram. But if one is elevated to spiritual platform, he must simply serve the Supreme Lord, and that is the real execution of Swadharma. Then one is performing the Daiva Varnashram, as Srila Prabhupada wanted to establish, completely in a spiritual way with Krishna in the center. And when Krishna is in the center, we become Krishna conscious, or we are trying to practice Krishna consciousness seriously, then serving Krishna is the real Swadharma. Text 3. Gramya dharma nivrittischa moksha dharma ratistatha mita medhyadanam shashvad vivikta kshema sevanam. One should cease nivritti. One should cease performing gramya dharma, conventional religious practices. Bhagwan Kapil Dev is saying, give up mundane dharma. And one should be attracted to those dharma which lead to salvation. Moksha dharma. Rati. Not temporary dharmas of this world, which will lead to bhukti. No. We should be attracted to that dharma which leads to our ultimate salvation, ultimate release from this material world. One should eat very frugally. Mita medhya adanam. Eating should be mita. Mita means small. Mita bhuk also it is said. Mita bhuk means to eat less. and should always remain secluded so that he can achieve the highest perfection of life. We should be Shashvad Vivikta Kshema Sevanam. We should always try to be Vivikta, secluded, so that we are peaceful. We are not distracted. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, it is recommended herein that religious practice for economic development or for the satisfaction of sense desires should be avoided. Artha and Kam has to be controlled. Religious practices should be executed only to gain freedom from the clutches of material nature. Guru na sasyad, swajano na sasyad, pita na sasyad, janani na sasyad, deve na sasyad, na patim na sasyad, na mochayetyo samupeta mrutyum. Bhagwan Shri Rishabdev Maharaj says that one can accept any relationship or role of leadership only if we can deliver our dependents from the repeated cycle of birth and death. Moksha dharma rati. Moksha dharma is important. In the next paragraph, Srila Prabhupada says, the next important phrase is mita medhyadanam, which means that one should eat very frugally. Frugal means what is required, not too much. It is recommended in the Vedic literatures that a yogi eat only half of what he desires according to his hunger. If one is so hungry that he could devour 1 pound of foodstuffs, then instead of eating 1 pound, he should consume only half a pound and supplement this with 4 ounces of water. 1/4 of the stomach should be left empty for air. If one eats in this manner, he will avoid indigestion and disease. The yogi should eat in this way, as recommended in Srimad Bhagavatam. Mita Medhyadanam. And all other scriptures also mention this. Bhagavad Gita also, Yukta Ahar, Viharasya, Yukta Cheshtasya, Karmasya, Yukta Sopna, Bodhasya, Yoga Bhavati Dukha. The yogi should live in a secluded place where his yoga practice will not be disturbed. We should live in a place which is favorable for executing our dharma. Text 4. Ahimsa Satya Astyena. Beg your pardon. Ahimsa Satyam Asteyam Yavadartha Parigraha Brahmacharyam Tapa Shaucham Swadhyaya Purusharchanam. These are very, very beautiful, 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 beautiful instructions that Bhagwan Shri Kapil Dev Maharaj is giving all of us for our ultimate benefit. So let us listen carefully. Translation. One should practice non-violence and truthfulness. Ahimsa, Satyam. One should avoid thieving. Asteyam. One should not steal. Asteyam means to refrain from stealing. And one should be satisfied with possessing as much as one needs for our maintenance. Yavad artha parigraha. We should only collect what we need, what is necessary for our maintenance. One should abstain from sex life. Brahmacharyam. One must perform austerity. Tapaha. It is Pandav Nirjala Ekadashi now. So we should perform austerity, like observing Ekadashi, not eating beans, grains on Ekadashi. Be clean, Shaucham, by taking bath, and that is external cleaning, internal cleaning by chanting Hare Krishna. Chetodarpanam Arjanam, Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. One should study the Vedas, study the Vedas, Swadhyaya, and one should worship the supreme form of God, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Aham sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha. That I am the enjoyer of everything. Um, योमामेवम असमूढ़ो जानाति पुरुषोत्तमम स सर्वविद भजति माम सर्वभावेन भारत. Lord Krishna says that I am Purushottam. Yomamevam asamudho janati Purushottamam sa sarvavid. One who knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Purushottam, that person knows everything. Sa sarvavid. So, one should worship Purushottam. Purusha Archanam. Every word is so important. Ahimsa, non-violent. Satyam, we should speak the truth. We should not lie. Asteyam, we should never steal, take another person's property. Yavadartha parigraha, we should collect money and amenities as much as we need. Brahmacharyam, one should maintain celibacy. Tapaha, one should perform tapasya, like controlling eating specially. Shaucham, one should keep oneself clean externally by brushing, bathing, wearing clean clothes, and internally by chanting Hare Krishna and giving up the internal impurities like lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, false ego. Swadhyaya, one must study the scriptures. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, ityadi. And Purusharchanam, one should worship the Supreme Purush. Yajeta Purusha Param. So these are the instructions for us. Purport. The word Purusharchanam in this verse means worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, especially the form of Lord Krishna. As stated in Bhagavad Gita by Arjun, Krishna is the original Purush. Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashwatam Divyam Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum. Krishna is Purush. Then Srila Prabhupada says, therefore in yoga practice, one not only must concentrate his mind on the person of Krishna, but one must also worship the form of Krishna, the deity of Krishna daily. So here is the difference. When we focus the mind, we are in Shantaras. But when we serve and perform puja, we cook for the Lord, we bathe the Lord, we dress the Lord, we massage the Lord, we offer arati to the Lord, Archanam. We are coming at least to the level of Dasya. Further, Srila Prabhupada writes in the second paragraph, a brahmachari practices celibacy, controlling his sex life. One cannot enjoy unrestricted sex life and practice yoga. This is rascaldom. So-called yogis advertise that one can go on enjoying as one likes and simultaneously become a yogi, but this is totally unauthorized. It is very clearly explained here that one must observe celibacy. Brahmacharyam means that one leads his life simply in relationship with Brahman or in full Krishna consciousness. Those who are too addicted to sex life cannot observe the regulations which will lead them to Krishna consciousness. Sex life should be restricted to persons who are married. A person whose sex life is restricted in marriage is also called a brahmachari. The word asteyam is also very important for a yogi. Asteyam means to refrain from stealing, refrain from theft. In the broader sense, anyone who accumulates more than he needs is a thief. Because only ishavasyam idam sarvam. Only what is our quota we are supposed to take. According to spiritual communism, one cannot possess more than he needs for his personal maintenance. That is the law of nature. Anyone who accumulates more money or more possessions than he needs is called a thief. Swadhyaya means reading the authorized Vedic scriptures. Even if one is not Krishna conscious and is practicing the yoga system, he must read standard Vedic literatures in order to understand the truth. So, like that. Text 5. Maunam sad asana jayah स्थैर्यं प्राणाजय शनैः प्रत्याहाराश्चेन्द्रियाणां विषयान् मनसारिधि. Further, Sri Kapil Dev Maharaj says, one must observe silence, maunam. One must acquire steadiness by practicing different yogic postures. Sad asana jaya. By practicing the proper asanas, one should control the mind, control the breathing of the vital air, prana jaya, sthiryam prana jaya. One should steady the vital air. Normally, in the modern times, we don't even think about our breathing. But in the Vedic system, controlling even the breathing helps steady the mind. Withdraw the senses from sense objects. Pratyaharas cha indriyanam. Pratyahara cha indriyanam. To withdraw the senses from sense objects. Some sense object is coming. Instead of looking and dhyato vishayan pumsa sangaste shupajayate sangat sanjayate kama kamat krodho bijayate krodhat bhavati sammohan sammohan smriti vibhrama buddhi bhramashat buddhi smriti bhramashat buddhi nashat pranashyati. Instead of getting into this whole vicious cycle from dhyato vishayan pumsa, contemplating on sense objects, Bhagwan Kapil Dev is saying that we should withdraw the senses from sense objects. Sense object is there, but we should withdraw ourselves away, keep ourselves away. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives the example of a turtle, how the turtle withdraws its limbs inside the shell, like that. And thus concentrate the mind on the heart. We should concentrate the mind on the heart because in the heart the Paramatma lives. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hridadeshe arjuna tishtati, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So, we should concentrate the mind on the Lord in the heart. The yogic practices in general and the Hatha yoga in particular are not ends in themselves, they are means to the end of attaining steadiness. So we should understand it is general what yoga is taught, that is just a means to make oneself more peaceful, make oneself more mindful, but it is not the end in itself. The end is to fix the mind on Krishna. But these things are also important. Prabhupada says, first one must be able to sit properly, then the mind and attention will be steady enough to practice yoga. Gradually, one must control the circulation of vital air. And with such control, he will be able to withdraw the senses from sense objects. In the previous verse, it is stated that one should observe celibacy. The most important aspect of sense control is controlling sex life. That is called brahmacharya. By practicing the different sitting postures and controlling the vital air, one can control and restrain the senses from unrestricted sense enjoyment. And this pranayam, asana, all this is helpful for practicing celibacy. Text 6. Swadhishnyanamekadeshe manasa pranadharanam Vaikuntha Leelabhidhyanam Samadhanam Tathatmanah. Fixing the vital air and the mind in one of the 6 circles of vital air circulation within the body. Thus concentrating one's mind on the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Personality of God. Vaikuntha Leela. Abhidhyanam. Such a beautiful. Vaikuntha Leela. One should fix the mind on the transcendental pastime of the Supreme Lord. And this is called as Samadhi or Samadhan of the mind. Samadhanam Tathatmana. Here Atma means the mind. This is called the Samadhi of the mind. To fix one's mind on the transcendental pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan. Hari Bol. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says there are 6 circles of vital air circulation within the body. The first circle is in the belly, second is in the area of the heart, third is in the lungs, fourth is on the palate, fifth is between the eyebrows, and the highest sixth is on top of the head in the brain. One has to fix his mind and circulation of vital air and thus think of the transcendental pastime of Supreme Lord. Vaikuntha Leela. It is never mentioned that one should concentrate on impersonal things or on void. It is clearly said, Vaikuntha Leela. Leela means pastimes. So therefore there is no doubt that Krishna is a person because only a person can have pastimes. There are no pastimes in the Brahma Jyoti. Hari Bol. One need only, further down, Srila Prabhupada writes, one need only concentrate his mind on one such narration from Srimad Bhagavatam, like Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj, and become always absorbed in its thoughts. Then he will be in Samadhi. So Srila Prabhupada is giving clue here about Raganuga Bhakti. It is implied. So Srila Prabhupada is saying we should hear the pastimes of the dear devotees of Krishna, the Nitya Siddhas, as mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, and we should just focus on one particular pastime. How Vishnu Chitta, when he heard 10th Canto Bhagavatam class about the Sudama flower garland maker, he just made that service his life and soul. Bas, that point he caught. So Prabhupada is saying here that it is through the process of devotional service, chanting and hearing the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and one can achieve this concentration. As described in Srimad Bhagavatam, the Lord appears and disappears according to his relationships with different devotees. Anugrahaya Bhaktanam, Krishna appears. The Vedic literatures contain many narrations of Krishna's pastimes. Leela Anukatha. Atra sarga visargascha sthanam poshanam utaya manvantareshanu katha. Ishanu katha. Ishanu katha means the pastimes of different incarnations. The Vedic literatures contain many narrations of Lord Krishna's pastimes, including Battle of Kurukshetra, historical facts relating to the life and teachings of devotees like Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj. One need only concentrate his mind on one such narration and always become absorbed in its thoughts. Then he will be in Samadhi. Samadhi is not artificially bodily state. It is a state achieved when the mind is virtually absorbed in thoughts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Such a beautiful definition Prabhupada is giving of Samadhi. Complete absorption in Krishna. Verse 7. Etair anyaescha pathibhir mano dushtam asatpatham buddhya yunjita shanakair jita pranoe atandritaha. By these processes or any other true process, one must control the contaminated, unbridled mind which is always attracted by material enjoyment. Hare Krishna. And thus fix himself in thought of the Supreme Personality of God. Again and again, this point is being mentioned that we have to control the mind, take the mind away from objects of sense gratification, and one must absorb oneself in thoughts of Krishna. Etair anyaischa, the purport Srila Prabhupada says, Etair anyaischa, by these, by other, the general process, yoga process, entails observing the rules and regulations. Vidhi, Nished. Rules and regulations, rules and restrictions. By these processes or any other true process, one must control the contaminated, unbridled mind, which is always attracted by material enjoyment, and thus fix himself in thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's what we should do. The essential point is that the mind, which is contaminated by material attraction, has to be bridled and concentrated on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yena kena prakarena manaha Krishna niveshayat. Somehow or the other, we have to fix the mind on Krishna, Srila Rupa Goswami says. Then Srila Prabhupada says, the real yogi is the devotee because his mind is always concentrated on the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Therefore, Krishna consciousness is the topmost yoga system. Raja Vidya Rajaguyam Pavitramidam Uttamam. Bhakti Yoga is the best. According to Krishna. Because Krishna says in the end of 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Yoginam api sarvesham mad gatena antaratmana shraddhavani bhajate yoma samayuktattamo mataha. That person is the best yogi, is perfectly engaged, who always keeps his mind concentrated on me, always thinks of me in the heart. Yoginam api sarvesham mad gatena antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yoma. With Shraddha, he is worshipping me, fixing his mind focused on me. That is the best yogi. Text 8. Shuchau deshe pratisthapya Vijitasana asanam tasmin swasti samasina rijukaya samabhyase. After controlling one's mind and sitting posture, one should spread a seat in a secluded place and sanctified place. Sit there in an easy posture. Asanam. Asana. Sit on the asan in the proper asan, that is easy, keeping the body erect. That is important. The posture should be erect. Riju Kaya. Riju Kaya means the Kaya, body should be straight, not crooked, not bent like this. Keeping the body erect and practice breath control. One should practice breath control, pranayam. So in this verse, the importance of asan is mentioned. It is fact that if we maintain a asan where we sit and chant every day at home, that asan also gets imbued with spiritual potency. And it is the experience of very great sadhus that this asan attracts spiritual potency. And we have seen many senior devotees, when they travel, they carry their asana. I have seen myself, His Holiness Shivram Swami Maharaj was here. Everywhere he was carrying his own asana. Just a chadar. He was putting it on everywhere where he was sitting. And I have seen it in also His Holiness Srila Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj. Maharaj also carries his asana. Because when you keep that same asana, you chant on that asana, you read Bhagavatam sitting on that asana, you pray to Krishna sitting on that asana, you chant your Gayatri mantra sitting on that asana becomes a holy paraphernalia. And it actually helps in bhajan, just like our beads. So here the importance of asana is mentioned by Bhagwan Kapil Dev. Vijita asana, asanam. One should sit in a proper posture on the asana. These are all anukul for bhakti. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, sitting in an easy posture is called swasti samasinaha. Not that we sit in a padmasan if we cannot. And then, I'm getting pins and needles, I'm getting numbness, I'm getting pain. No. Sit in a posture that where the body is erect, the posture is easy. It could be Ardha Padmasan. It is recommended in the yoga scripture that one should put the soles of the feet between the two thighs and ankles and sit straight. That posture will help one to concentrate his mind on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This very process is also recommended in Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter. It is further stated that one should sit in a secluded, sanctified spot. We should not sit in the middle of the house where other people are watching TV, talking, taking phone calls, cooking in the kitchen. We should not sit there for japa. We should have a quiet, secluded spot in the house where we only chant. Then when we go to that spot, by habit, we start chanting because that spot is reserved for chanting. You go and sit on the dining table, you'll feel hungry. You'll feel like eating because you sit and eat there. Similarly, if we create a spot in the house, preferably in front of the deities where we sit and chant, and you go there, you feel like chanting. Prabhupada says that the seat should consist of deer skin and kusha grass topped with cotton. This is for Ashtanga Yoga. Typically in their scriptures it is mentioned like that. However, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not approve of wearing or sitting on animal skin. Not required. We can use a kushasan instead. Asan made of kusha grass. Kushasan can be used. It is available. Text 9. Pranasya shodhaye margam pura kumbhaka rechakaihi प्रतिकूलेन वा चित्तं यथा स्थिरं अचंचलम. The yogi should clear the passage of vital air by breathing in the following manner. First, he should inhale very deeply, then hold the breath in, and finally exhale. Or reversing the process, the yogi must first exhale, then hold the breath outside, and then finally inhale. This is done so that the mind may become steady and free from external disturbances. Hare Krishna. I'm laughing because once somebody was demonstrating this, and there is something called as vasovagal attack, where um, there is just passing out spell because of some vigorous stimulus. So this person was doing the he was not used to it, perhaps doing it for the first time, and he fell down unconscious while doing this. Hare Krishna. Then we had to elevate the legs and sprinkle water on it. So I just somehow remembered that. So sorry for laughing. But yeah, so this is the process, but this has to be done under a guru, and it has to be practiced slowly, properly, not suddenly. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, these breathing exercises are performed to control the mind. The purpose of this asan pranayam is to control the mind and fix it on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Savai Manah Krishna Padaravindayo. One should fix the mind on Krishna. Further down, Srila Prabhupada says that the Hatha Yoga system is especially recommended for those who are very absorbed in the bodily concept of life. But one who can perform the simple process of chanting Hare Krishna can fix the mind more easily. Hari Bol. 3 different activities are recommended for clearing the passage of breath. The Pranasya Shodhay Margam. How to do that? Clearing the passage of pran, vital air. 3 different activities are recommended. Puraka, Kumbhaka, and Rechaka. Inhaling the breath is called Puraka, sustaining it within is called Kumbhaka, and finally exhaling it is called Rechaka. These recommended processes can also be performed in the reverse order, where you exhale, you hold it out, and then breathe in. Or you can breathe in, hold it in, and breathe out. After exhaling, one can keep the air outside for some time, and then inhale. The nerves through which inhalation and exhalation are conducted are technically called Ida and Pingala. The ultimate purpose of clearing the Ida and Pingala passages is to divert the mind from material enjoyment. Concentrate on the breathing instead of concentrating on sense objects. Very important point, Srila Prabhupada says. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, one's mind is one's enemy and one's mind is also one's friend. Uncontrolled mind is enemy, controlled mind is friend. So in this way, we have to do abhyas, practice, concentrating on Krishna. Last paragraph is very important. Srila Prabhupada writes, practicing the yoga system of exercise and breath control is very difficult for a person in this age of Kali, and therefore Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended Kirtaniya Sada Hari. One should always chant the holy name of the Supreme Lord, Krishna, because Krishna is the most suitable name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The name Krishna and the Supreme Person Krishna are non-different. Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddha Nitya Mukta Bhinnatva Nama Namino. One of the most important verses in the whole Vedic library from Padma Puran. The name Krishna and the Supreme Person Krishna are non-different. Therefore, if one concentrates his mind on hearing and chanting Hare Krishna, the same result is obtained because Abhinatva Nam Namino. Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. Nama Hite Haya Sarva Jagat Anistar. Krishna has come in the form of his name. And last verse number 10. Manochirat Syad Virajam Jita Shwasasya Yoginah Vayavagnibhyam Yathalobham Mahatam Tyajati Vaimalam. The yogis who practice such breathing exercises are very soon freed from all mental disturbances. Just as gold, when put into fire and fanned with air, becomes free from all impurities, becomes pure gold by putting through fire. Similarly, yogi who practices this asan and breath control, concentrating the mind on Krishna, thinking of Krishna, becomes free from all mental disturbances, free from all contaminations. Om pavitra pavitro va sarvavastham gatopi va yah smare pundarikaksha sabhayavantara shuchi. One becomes pure. Yah smare pundarikaksha. By remembering the lotus-eyed Lord Krishna, one becomes purified. Purport. This process of purifying the mind is also recommended by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says that one should chant Hare Krishna, Param Vijayate, all glories to Shri Krishna Sankirtan. And Chetudarpana Marjanam, Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. One can purify the mind either by the breathing process or by chanting process. Just as one can purify gold by putting it in a fire and fanning it with bellows. So one can be purified either by practicing yoga, pranayama, asana, and fixing the mind on Krishna, or one can directly chant the name of Krishna, which is non-different from Krishna. So in this way, we can purify our existence. The purpose of human form of life is to purify one's existence. Sarvopadhi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhaktir uchyate. Tatparatvena nirmalam. Hare Krishna. The purpose of life is to become purified. Vishaya chhadiya kabe shuddha habe man kabe ama heribu Shri Vrindavan. Like that. So we have to pray for purification. Chetu Darpana Marjanam. Yes, Shama Vallavi Mataji. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class. Prabhuji, my doubt is that Deva Bhakti is Ashtanga Yogi we read previously. But why Kapila Muni is teaching Ashtanga Yoga now to her, not directly teaching Bhakti Yoga?
So Ashtanga Yoga can be practiced in a way that it is not really pure devotional service, but the way Lord Kapil Dev is teaching, it is Bhakti Yoga. Although it is Ashtanga Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, it is Bhakti Yoga. It is pure Bhakti. As we can see, it is completely, if you look at the instructions of Bhagwan Kapil Dev, it is pure devotional service. All he's saying is, control your mind, control your posture so that you can fix your mind on Krishna. Be satisfied with what Krishna gives you. Just concentrate your mind on Krishna. So it's pure devotional service.
So the
What-
Sankhya Yoga is Jnana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga, Prabhuji? Sankhya philosophy is what?
Sankhya Yoga is Bhakti Yoga. In Bhagavad Gita also, Lord Krishna says that those who are wise, they know that Sankhya Yoga and Bhakti Yoga are one and the same. Sankhya Yoga that Bhagwan Kapil Dev is teaching in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is Bhakti Yoga. It is Bhakti Yoga. But those who don't understand it properly, they can misunderstand it and not get the Bhakti purport, miss the Bhakti purport, miss the Bhakti in Sankhya, and make it quite mundane, speculation, analysis, paralysis by analysis. They can do that. But those who understand what real Sankhya Yoga is, as mentioned by Lord Kapil Dev, as taught by Lord Kapil Dev, that is pure Bhakti. Okay?
Okay, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, doubt from last class.
Yes. Yes.
Text 27, purport in the second sentence, Prabhupada writes, a mixed devotee engages in devotional service for the spiritual benefit of being eternally engaged in the transcendental abode of the Lord in full bliss and knowledge. Why mixed devotee, Prabhuji? He is a pure devotee, no?
Tell me the verse number again, 28.
Text 27, purport, second sentence.
A mixed devotee engages in devotional service for the spiritual benefit of being eternally engaged in the transcendental abode of the Lord in full bliss and knowledge. Let me read it again. Anyone engaged in devotional service of the Supreme Personality of God known as devotee, but there's a distinction between pure devotee and mixed devotee. In material existence, when a devotee is not completely purified, he expects material benefit from the Lord in the form of relief, advancement in knowledge of relationship and quantity and knowledge of the real nature of Supreme Lord. When a person is transcendental, he is called a pure devotee. He does not engage himself with the Lord for anything material benefit. Yes. So what Srila Prabhupada is saying, Shama Vallavi Mataji, is a mixed devotee performs service to Krishna to attain Vaikuntha. And engage in eternal blissful service to Krishna in Vaikuntha without having any fear of repeated birth, old age, disease, and death. There's a devotee, but he's a mixed devotee. Because the highest level, the pure devotee, is one who performs bhakti, worship of Krishna, without even expecting that I will go to Vaikuntha. He simply does it, samsiddhir haritoshanam, for the satisfaction of Krishna. You can send me to Vaikuntha, you can do anything with me. No problem. Swarga api Narayana parasarve na kutasyana bhibyati swarga api apavarga narkeshu api tulyartha darshana. Swarga apavarga narkeshu api tulyartha darshana. You can do anything. Mama janmani janmanishware bhavatat bhakti rahetu kitvai. There Mahaprabhu is negating even mukti, even going to Vaikuntha. Birth after birth, he is saying. So therefore, pure devotee is one who performs devotional service simply to please Krishna. And mixed devotee on a lower level may do it for bhukti, or on a little more advanced level may still have mukti abhilasha, that I will get liberated into Vaikuntha, then I don't have to suffer, I will live happily ever after with Krishna. It is not bad, but it is not the highest, because there
So
is
that is Salokya, Prabhuji. That is Salokya. That means that is also a type of liberation.
yes, Mataji, Salokya, to be on the same abode as the Lord. A pure devotee does not even have that aspiration, does not even make that condition that Krishna, please take me back to Godhead, okay? No, not even that.
Okay.
If you want me to take birth again, I will take birth again. No problem. Like that. That is pure devotee.
Thank you.
Like Prabhupada said, na, that Krishna can send me as many times as Krishna wants. I will come and preach about him, write about him, worship him, teach others to worship him. That is pure devotee. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, so we will stop here. And so next week, there are programs by my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj, in Bhakti Center. So we are going, Tuesday Maharaj is doing a program and Wednesday Maharaj is doing a program. And then Thursday morning we are coming back. So Thursday next week we will have Bhakti Vaibhava. But Monday I am flying after my shift. So Monday no Jaiva Dharma, Tuesday no Bhakti Vaibhava, and Wednesday no Jaiva Dharma. Because Wednesday we are going to 26 Second Avenue, the first ISKCON temple in the world, where Maharaj will be doing Kirtan and Katha. And Tuesday there is Katha in Bhakti Center. So please forgive me, but it's only in the summer that I get to associate with my Guru Maharaj, because otherwise Maharaj is out of US, mostly in India and other countries. So only in summer I get to meet my Guru Maharaj. So next week we are going to New York for that. So Satyar Mataji, thank you for doing this service. Very grateful to you. And you can also take help from Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji. Mataji also volunteered. So both of you can do together so that one of you doesn't feel too much burdened. If somebody is not well or somebody is traveling, then both of you are there, like sisters. Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji and Satyarupa Mataji. Hari Bol. Both daughters of Janani Mataji. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Mukta Sangha Prabhu, you're happy?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah, very happy. Actually, Tuesday, Hari Parshad Prabhu is coming to our area. So,
Please offer my humble obeisances to Hari Parshad Prabhu.
and New York, where you're going, is not far away, Prabhu. It's just 1 or 10 minutes from my place.
Hari Hari.
So, if possible, I'll drive down to New York to meet. Like
Oh,
that.
please come. I will be so happy to embrace
Yeah,
you.
depends. It's a weekday, but I'll try.
Yeah. If possible, you come. Otherwise, we will meet later. And what was I saying? So Hari Parshad Prabhu is coming here also to Atlanta.
Oh, nice. Okay.
In fact, he's coming here on. So I'm coming back on the 12th. 12th, Gaurang Prabhu is coming here. And 13th, Hari Parshad Prabhu is coming. So I think he's coming
10th.
10th, na? So Atlanta, he's coming on 13th. Hari Parshad Prabhu.
Oh, okay.
So from your place he's going somewhere, and from there he's coming. Very well.
Summer is full of events.
Summer is full of events. So Tuesday, Wednesday with Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj, Thursday Gaurang Prabhu, and Friday, Saturday Hari Parshad Prabhu.
And
Sunday.
we have many Rath Yatras here, this month and next month. New
Yes.
York Rath Yatra is the biggest.
Yeah.
Will you be-
Tomorrow is our Rath Yatra.
You could have stayed for New York Rath Yatra.
I'm working that weekend, Troy.
Okay.
I'm working.
Yeah.
So so day after tomorrow is our Rath Yatra, New Panati Dham. And can I share something special, Shyam
Yes.
Chandra Prabhu? This year is the 50th year of Srila Prabhupada coming to Atlanta. Srila Prabhupada came to Atlanta, New Panati Dham, in 1975, and this is 2025. So we are celebrating 50th anniversary. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Very special. So Shudakirti Prabhu is coming, and tomorrow he's going to, because he was there with Prabhupada when as a personal servant and Prabhupada came to Atlanta. So he's going to share all the memories of what Prabhupada did in Atlanta. So Hari Bol. Very happy. Thank you, dear devotees. So I will see you on Thursday.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nitai
Jai.
Gaur.
Thank you very much.